When you're thinking about the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, what's something that they can do that is a complete and utter deal breaker? Some would call a red flag.
I mean, if I'm thinking of red flags, the first thing that comes to mind for me, personally, I mean, liking Fight Club or The Joker.
Yeah, you know, man, I didn't think about that. I was thinking more of like, you know, if they chew with their mouth open, or if they don't have hand towels.
No, it's just the movie thing.
Oh, okay. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. I get that. I get that. Well, you wouldn't be alone, because apparently there's a whole culture around red flag movies.
I actually don't have that opinion, folks. I was kidding.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But don't chew with your mouth open.
And The Joker's not a good movie. Sorry. It's not.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we can get into that and much, much more. But before we do that, we have to get into these brewskis. Oh, Adam, please reintroduce an old friend and tell the people what we're drinking tonight.
Well, we have finally brought back old faithful, someone call it,
faithful. Cigar
City Brewing, with one of their newer brews, the Frostproof Belgian-Style White. This beer is a 6% ABV, 18 IBU.
Yep.
And it is an ale brewed with coriander and orange peel, and it does have a cold read, folks. It does have a cold read. That's why we go back to Cigar City from time to time.
That's right.
It goes as follows: Frostproof Belgian-Style White, a full-flavored yet delicate beer boasting orange peel and coriander additions to a Belgian-style white base. Frostproof was designed with fresh air and outdoor adventures in mind.
That's it?
That's it.
A cold read it is. Very cold. All right. Well, my name is Marco Dupa, and this beautiful bastard right here is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, brewskis?
And this is episode 322. 322 of the One Beer In podcast.
Just flipped everyone else in Britain.
Oh, yeah.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
All right. Yes, sir. This is the One Beer In podcast. The podcast where two brews crack open a brew and we see where that one brew takes us. That brew right there. And as I stated, my name is Marco Dupa. That is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What is up?
Like, share, and subscribe. We thank you guys for the constant support, people who listen weekly, and the new fans who just pick up on the show whenever we happen to fall into one of your algorithms.
Yeah, we have had a couple new ones, so welcome.
Welcome. We hope you enjoy it, and if you don't, you're allowed to downvote, but please leave a comment and say why. All right. Let's get into this. What's trying to monitor this shit. Fucking headphones. Fucking work.
This is why they downvote Marco.
I know.
Come on.
I can't do that.
Oh my word.
Can people hear this?
Oh my word.
Okay, hold on.
What's happening?
I need to be able to monitor it. I can't give up on them.
Okay. All right. You got it.
All right.
Got it, bud.
We're back to square one.
Proud of you.
Okay, I can hear it. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, so this ridiculous thing, as most ridiculous things on the internet, happened on Twitter, just kind of slid by on the timeline. And I don't know. I mean, I guess the post kind of went viral, but I don't feel like enough people talked about it. Not enough people for my liking talked about it and how ridiculous the sentiment is. But let's kind of go into detail about it. Like, what's the idea behind a red flag movie or book or, I mean, I guess piece of art?
Okay. So it comes from a tweet written by Cuchillo Lope at Hosting Cholo, who on August 22nd said, "Hey, Film Twitter, I got a question. We all know red flag movies, Fight Club, The Joker, etc., that we all can spot on site. But is there any green flag movies? Movies that you hear someone say that makes you instantly trust or like that person?"
I mean, both of those things are just so ridiculous.
Is it not a taste thing? Is it not just, you will think less if you're a judgy person like we are, you'll kind of look down your nose at someone who likes a movie that you think is trash, right? Is that not what that is?
Yeah. I mean, the idea that a person that you can, I know that we use things to compartmentalize and like just put people in a box so it's easier for us to just process who they are as a person and process the world.
Sure.
But I mean, it just flies in the face of everything that people know and believe about art itself. For you to be like, hey man, I'm free to like whatever I want. It doesn't represent who I am as a person. But then also have a list of movies and music and books and what have you that says if you're into this thing, you got to be this kind of person.
Sure.
It's such a strange. I mean, it's par for the course for Twitter and for film Twitter. Any Twitter like localized clicky thing, they're always the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? A red flag is being a part of any of these either film Twitter, hip hop Twitter, any kind of insert thing Twitter.
Right.
If you feel like you're a part of those things, that's a red flag for me.
What about Black Twitter?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's the only exception.
Got
that's
you there.
the only exception. But if you're a part of white Twitter, no, I'm kidding. You can be a part of white Twitter.
I think that's just Twitter.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I've probably talked about this on the show, but like hip hop Twitter, for instance, just the worst opinions I've ever seen.
It's too much. People, there's a difference between passion and just like absolute insanity about over like a standum, I will call it. Not even a fandom, a standum of whatever it is you're into. Now, I understand where this is coming from, and it's not the first time I heard about quote unquote red flag movies.
Same.
I know Fight Club has been kind of touted as the red flag movie for a long time.
And then Joker took its place.
Yeah. I mean, basically just because it's, in retrospect, has been, I guess, taken in a more negative light than it was at release by a lot of people, narratively.
Yeah.
And what I guess it's what certain people get out of these movies.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver, another one.
Yeah.
That people bring up sometimes. So if it becomes your entire identity and you identify with the anti-hero in these movies, then that can be problematic. And I get that. I
mean, how you read these movies is the red flag, not liking enjoying the movie itself. That's such a ridiculous thought process.
Yeah.
To watch a movie and like a movie and be like, "Oh, you're a fan of Fight Club? Yikes. Toxic masculinity." But I mean, even if that's like your favorite movie, the red flag would have to come in once you said why, right?
Sure. Yeah. Give an explanation why.
And that falls into people's personalities in the first place. So again, you're not talking about the movie itself. You're talking about that person's thought process behind the movie. So just liking the movie is not the red flag. It's the reason why. And that makes sense because that's what real red flags are. Why, like, you're having a conversation with somebody and they do or say something that gives you a deeper picture as to their thought process and how they view the world. That could be a red flag for you.
Yeah, I just think the key thing here is that it's unfair to judge someone without having that knowledge first.
Absolutely. And what is the list of green flag movies?
That's what the question was. So
I would love to know what the movies are that you watch or that you like and go, I don't know.
One of the first replies here says Princess Diaries, Rami and Michelle's high school reunion.
What? High school reunion?
Yeah.
Like the Disney Channel high school reunion?
I've never seen Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Romy and Michelle's, wait. Is that a movie? Romy and Michelle's?
I trust this person on Twitter for no reason at all, but
yeah, look that up. Oh, in the beginning. Oh, it's a movie from the 90s.
with Lisa Kudrow. Okay.
Alan Cumming.
And Justin Theroux, yeah, baby.
Really?
We're Theroux heads here.
Word. Justin Theroux's the shit. I mean, I know you like him because of that show.
That you'll never watch.
I like him because the motherfucker is a style god.
Of course. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
97's Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. That's a green flag. Whatever. See, that
Never seen it.
Makes me angry at that person, but okay.
Never seen it. Sorry.
What else? Is there anything else in the list?
Let's see.
Because that is a weirder idea than the red flag movie. Because I can understand the logic that you have to use to have a red flag movie. A green flag movie to me is like, just benign.
Yeah, like
easy.
a fan favorite. That is like a
You like Men in Black? Cool.
Right.
We'll definitely get along.
Let's see. We have Lost in Translation and Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine is a super problematic movie if you read it a certain way.
Sure.
Same with Lost in Translation.
For sure. Yeah, that one in particular. Life of Brian, Blazing Saddles, They Live.
Oh, fuck off.
Raising Arizona.
They Live? You know what? That might actually be a green flag movie. If I met anybody who's like, they're into that, I'm like,
but that's
cool.
based on your taste. It's not based on like a problematic element within the movie that's an immediate red flag that, or a green flag, I mean, that somebody is cool if they like it. I'm sure there's a lot of really bad people who like They Live.
Absolutely.
So
and the thing is, you can
yourself included.
Big time. You can identify with the aliens and They Live, and then doesn't it turn into a red flag movie because you're like, we should be under control. There should be a state of control that people are unaware of because people don't deserve to have free will. Like, what if that's how you read the movie? Wouldn't that now be a red flag?
Could be. I immediately regret going for this person's tweet because their red flag movies are, and I quote, uncritical praise for every single frame ever shot under the direction of Scorsese, Spielberg, Stone, or Tarantino.
So who does he watch then? Like,
I don't know. I
so
don't
he was
know.
like, just fuck all of the great American directors.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. Yeah. So we could go on and on. There's
again,
tons.
that's a red flag for me. If you're a person who wants to talk about film and then you're like, listen, I don't watch any movie from any American director. Cool. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be around you. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone who's like, all the Scorsese movies suck. All of the Spielberg movies.
Tarantino.
I
mean, I understand them not, especially Tarantino in particular, not being somebody's taste.
I
Because,
get that.
He is derivative. Says the N-word a whole lot.
A little too much.
and is ultra violent. So if you're not into those things, or you're not okay with those things in your cinema, I totally get it.
Yeah. But you don't get to shut out all of them. You just don't. No, you just don't get to do that.
Well, sure, you can do whatever you want.
No, you can't.
You can.
No,
Marco,
you can't.
This is America. Damn it.
Not my America.
Not my director. Yeah, I mean, I think it is unfair to dismiss somebody based on the movies they like. And I know I said the opposite at the beginning of this. I was joking.
Yeah.
Like whatever movies you like. Mm-hmm. I will do my best not to judge you too harshly, even though I personally invest a lot of stock into film.
I think there is a point to be made or had about liking those kind of movies a little too much. But
yeah. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
If you're one of those guys who like identifies as the Joker,
right? Yeah,
that's problematic.
There's definitely an issue.
I saw
there.
somebody locally driving a Joker car, where just murals of the Joker on the car.
See, yeah, I just that's a problem. Mm-hmm. That's definitely an issue.
That's a red flag.
So I get that, but again, that falls down to who that person is.
Sure,
you're not going to stop me from enjoying the shit that I saw Scott Pilgrim on there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that Scott himself,
he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But it's purposeful. He's a bad person
on
purpose.
That's the point.
That's his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to read from it. That's what you're supposed to take from it.
So I guess the red flag would be if you identify as Scott Pilgrim and you think he's a cool guy. And you're like, I'm totally Scott Pilgrim. Right. My life has totally been Scott Pilgrim, let me tell you.
But the thing is, I think if you're a person who watches that movie and identifies with Scott, you are very unself-aware.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching it and going, yep, I made those same mistakes. Mm-hmm. I'm also a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're at least aware enough to know that you're a toxic person.
Sure.
But if you're watching it and identifying with him and thinking he's the victim in the movie, then you have things that you need to work on.
Yeah.
That is that's and I think that's a misreading of the movie. But it doesn't make that movie problematic. And it doesn't make liking that movie problematic. And that's where the language gets a little weird to say that movie belongs on a tier list of problematic movies is irresponsible.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing with Fight Club. Thinking if somebody thinks that Tyler Durden is somebody to aspire to be, or like some beacon of masculinity.
Yeah.
You're misreading the movie completely.
Right.
Or the book.
Or even if you don't read anything into these movies and you just think they're fun to watch, that's fun too.
Sure.
There doesn't have to be a critical analysis of everything. You could just like a thing because it's fun to watch. The fight scenes in Fight Club are very visceral, and
Joker's pretty to look at.
Yeah, it's a well-shot movie.
Really good performance.
Joaquin Phoenix he crushes it.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim is fun to watch. It's just a fun to watch movie, even if you don't take anything from it. It's just, again, I go back to the idea of insert X Twitter, and they always have the worst opinions. And film Twitter is no different. It's filled with people who maybe took a film class, maybe they finished film school, maybe they're amateur filmmakers.
Or just enthusiasts.
But that's, mostly just enthusiasts with their heads up their asses.
Yeah.
And that's what all of these, God. Oh, it's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. Like people just can't enjoy things anymore without having to give you this critical reason as to why I enjoy a thing. You don't have to justify your tastes. Now, if you're out there in public saying that, Joker made a lot of sense.
He had a lot of good points. You
need to justify that shit.
Yeah.
But if you're just like Joaquin Phoenix acted really well in this movie, and Todd Phillips made an interesting left turn with a DC villain, that's okay. And that's a conversation we can have.
Hot take. Hot take. Todd Phillips is a hack. It's not a good movie. It's a mediocre movie that is only kept from being bad because of Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
I've watched it again recently
Okay.
with an even more critical eye.
Okay.
Because I thought maybe I missed something upon first viewing. Maybe there's a deeper level to it. There's not.
Yeah.
There's not. There's just not. It's not a deep movie. It's a very, very shallow movie. It is indulgent to the point of being masturbatory.
Yeah.
It's too much. I think Todd Phillips scored huge with Joaquin Phoenix
Yeah.
and realized what he had and just said, we'll roll it for a few hours and see what we got by the end of the day. And that was it. That's all that movie is. It's just, it is indulgent to the core and leaves you with nothing but a good performance. A great performance, I will give you.
Talk to him.
That's it. That's all it is.
Get 'em.
It's not a modern day classic. It's not even one of the more interesting, I would say, superhero genre movies, if you even want to classify it as that.
Get him.
It is a kind of meandering, heavy-handed,
Get him.
one note
Get him.
slog. That's all I have to say about the Joker.
You know, thank you for that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I love.
I've been holding it inside for a long time.
I love when you rip movies.
Maybe that's my film Twitter in me that I just need to get out.
Yeah. Like, are you kind of ingrained in the film Twitter? Like, do you follow enough accounts that like you kind of feel like you're in it?
Very, very loosely, because again, I'm not one of those guys that will immediately write a 10-page review on the latest screening.
Yeah.
I'm not that deep in. I'll have my opinion, but I will keep it in my pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same as far as like hip hop Twitter is concerned. Like, I follow enough pages that retweet enough stuff that makes me angry enough that like, I don't
want to be part of this.
I can't do this. I have not been able to go back and rewatch The Joker for that very reason. I'm just afraid that it is what you described. But I did rewatch the scene when he, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, which I'm sure pretty much anybody who was going to see it has.
Sure.
When he kills De Niro, that speech right before he kills him, I thought in the moment was a little broad strokey. Mm-hmm. And then having rewatched it, I was like, that's an awful speech.
Well, not only that, but upon rewatch, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted here. It's like the Tasmanian devil. I'm sorry, I'm sweating right now. Upon rewatch, the Joker, like the movie itself, I kind of get the arguments that were kind of laid on it a little bit after release about it being a quote unquote dangerous movie.
Yeah.
Because I understand how I don't think it could even be mistakenly interpreted. I think it is created as a manifesto for like incels and outsiders and outcasts to feel like violence is empowering and makes you real and is a way to kind of make yourself important in the world.
And a justification of your and any bad thing that happens to you, whether it's your fault or not,
It's justified.
is justified.
Right, because the world is out to get you, and the world is inherently bad, and therefore your only recourse is to enact violence upon it.
And it justifies your violent tendencies and actions because of the violence inflicted upon you that you interpret or misinterpret as the universe being against you.
Which I understand Todd Phillips got a lot of that from Taxi Driver, but I think he missed the point of Taxi Driver, where the audience is supposed to be like disgusted by that final bloody climax.
Yeah.
By the end of it, like the person he saves is literally like petrified of him.
Yeah.
After everything, like after saving her.
Yeah.
And we as an audience see that and reject it and reject him as our hero.
Right. You like the whole time you reject him. You like, this is a terrible, like, judgmental, like a guy that he's not a good dude.
No,
he's not from the jump. He's not a good
unhinged.
guy.
Yeah, he's an unhinged man and somebody that you don't want to look up to.
Yeah.
He's a loser. But I feel like you get those broad strokes with the Joker, but at the end of it, there's none of that sort of... There's nobody there as the audience to say, you're a loser, Joker. Like, this is disgusting. This is horrible. And the only person who gets shot in the head, and, you know, the Joker is victorious. He gets arrested and then
because
celebrated.
If I remember correctly, it's because he's not unhinged in the way that forgetting De Niro's character's
Murray?
name in Taxi Driver, not Murray.
Oh, from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I know.
it's running the tip of my tongue
too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, just got to look it up. But Joker's name is Arthur.
Yeah.
Bickle.
Travis
Bickle
Bickle.
like Bickle. Travis Bickle.
Right.
He is. I mean, I think it's pretty clear what Scorsese is trying to say, or trying to use Travis Bickle as a vehicle for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the same light, it's pretty clear what Todd Phillips is trying to do with Arthur. I don't think he fails in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wants us to empathize with him, and I think that that's what you're talking about, where he misses the message of Taxi Driver, which is, this is not how you're supposed to deal with your problems. This is not how you're supposed to see the world. This is a misinterpretation of things. This is you're watching a person take all of these outside influences and then jumble them in his mind, and then you're watching how he outwardly deals with those things. In the Joker, he is victimized.
Sure.
There isn't a moment where there isn't enough scenes in the movie of him just being a bad person and then blaming it on something else. He is a victim. All he does is just try, and he gets victimized throughout the whole movie.
Right, which is also its problem. Because it's almost to a comical degree the amount that the world is out to get him.
Exactly.
Like, no, we need some levity from this. And also, this is another thing. We're on an entire Joker rant right now.
Here we go.
But the issue I have here, too, is that they try to make his mother an impactful character in his life, right?
Yeah.
He's devoting his life to her. But we never really, really get any time with them in their ordinary world where they're, you know, just living.
Yeah.
It's very few. We get maybe like, I want to say maybe a minute or two, maybe 5 tops of time where they're just living.
Yeah.
You know? I would need, in order to get an emotional impact from the revelation, again, spoiler alert, the revelation that she is insane and enabled an abusive man to abuse him, and which led to him having this, you know, laughing tick and all, you know, everything else, creating him essentially.
Yeah.
We don't get any of that. So when it's revealed and then he kills her, it's like, okay, this is just downer note,
Yeah.
and again, just another downer note that, of course, this is what happens because he's always the victim.
Right. I think the problem with what you're saying, or the issue in the movie, is that it happens too late, and it happens all too coincidentally. If, like you're saying, if those themes were introduced earlier in the film, if we weren't led to empathize with him so much throughout the first like hour of the movie, and then the next 45 minutes or so he starts to, you know, his world starts crumbling beneath him, and then that last 30 minutes it's all justified, quote unquote. If you kind of introduce those themes a little sooner in the movie, you start to you build a better picture of who he is and why he is this way, right?
Right.
But instead, he's just the victim throughout the whole first and second act of the movie.
And then what do we feel when he finally gets his vengeance? we feel good.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
We feel a sense
happy
of
that he's
catharsis, and it's enjoyable for the audience to see him hoisted up as as the Joker finally. Yeah. And that feels good.
I mean, he's literally hoisted up.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, it's like in the T pose, like Jesus. Yeah. Like he's now reborn as this empowered psychopath.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but what does that say? That says that violence is the answer. If you are constantly victimized, violence is the answer. And mind you, I'm not a guy that's out here like looking for meanings in movies all the time. I can enjoy a dumb action or horror or whatever kind of movie with a terrible meaning behind it. But the fact that it's so heavy-handed on empowering the victim to violence, it's like it's a little uncomfortable.
Todd Phillips brought this on himself.
Yeah.
He asked for this critical analysis of his film. He wanted to make a super smart movie. He wanted to be held in the same regard of the Scorseses, the Spielbergs. Like, he wants to be there. He wants to be seen in that light. He brought this on himself. This is not... If on the promotional tour he was just like, look, man, shit is it's just fun. It's dark. Like, I tried to make a super dark movie, but what I'm really trying to say is nothing. I'm not trying to say anything. I just thought it was a fun thought experiment to see how far we could push this character until he finally snapped. That's what I was going for. Yeah. Instead, he's trying to make a statement.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so what's the statement? That if you get bullied, you get to murder people? Right. Is that obviously that's not what he's trying to say, but then it's like, well, then what are you trying to say?
What is the message?
Society bad?
Yeah, don't mess with the weird kid.
Yeah.
It left me with a bad taste in my mouth.
I mean, how many times has someone made the joke of being nice to the weird kid because that kid might turn around and kill everybody?
Sure. Yeah.
And then what happens in the movie with the one guy who's nice to him?
Yep.
He murders everybody else, and then he fucking kisses him on the forehead. It's like, come on, dog. Who wrote this? How old are you? Who wrote this movie?
I don't know. Don't even get me started on how much of an asshole Thomas Wayne is. Like an irredeemable asshole who punches him in the nose.
Bad person.
Like, come on. Like, give me some nuance. That's what I'm asking for. Is give me some nuance. And make Thomas Wayne not that bad of a guy.
Right.
Let us see it from his perspective a little bit and just be like, I don't know you, man. Or
maybe he does know him and he's tried, but his unhinged, insane mother didn't tell him and like blocked all that shit. So maybe there's at least one character with levity in the movie.
Well, that's kind of what he says is like, I'm sorry, but your mom, she has problems. She's not telling you the truth. She lied to you. I'm not your dad.
Right.
And that becomes like...
But he didn't have to be such a fucking asshole about it.
We start the movie with him being an elitist asshole.
Yeah.
And, look, it's fine if he is supposed to be the stand-in for, the 1% and, a elitist, out-of-touch politician. That's fine. That can be okay. But also make him a human being, too, to some degree. Because if not, then literally everyone's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Joker's the good guy getting his comeuppance on an inherently predatory and evil world.
Now, I will say this. If the idea of the movie is to be seen as through his eyes and we are viewing his perception of the world,
sure.
But we need at least some point of reference, someone with a compass to let us know that you're seeing this movie from his eyes, his perspective. Because as it stands, all of these things actually did happen to him.
Look, and it would be super cheap to do this, mind you. I'm not advocating for the movie having gone this way, but it would have added at least one level to the storytelling here. If we would have seen that like in a very Fight Club style, the things that happen in the movie aren't exactly how he saw them happen.
Right.
We realize he's, we can't trust him as the narrator.
Right. Right.
So maybe we see like footage from inside the subway car that he kills those guys and there wasn't a chick that they were harassing.
Right.
And
he just got up and murdered them.
They weren't beating him up. They were just walking by. They were just normal guys, and you decide to kill them.
I don't think that's that cheap of a. It's a trope. It's been done before, but I don't think it's that cheap because he does it with the Zazie Beetz character, where his entire thing with her is made up. So he does do it and is aware that is a thing that he could do.
Right.
Which leads me to believe that okay, he must have thought about that, but thought it'd be better if all these things actually happened to him. Like his therapist being so just nonchalant and just like, I don't care. You're now someone else's problem is such. First of all, it's such an indictment on that entire industry. And second, it's like, I know that there are shitty therapists and psychiatrists and whatnot, and I know that industry's not perfect like all industries, but it just is like, how many bad things can happen to this guy?
Yeah.
It makes me think of Precious. How many bad things can happen to this one girl?
Right.
Everything. Every bad thing can
happen. How long do you have?
And you're just like, what is the point of this movie?
We've got 2.5 hours of tragedy for you.
Wait, are we supposed to take away from this movie that like life's awful,
everything's terrible,
and you know just keep a smile on your face?
Maybe,
what are we supposed to take from this?
Maybe you don't got it as bad as you think.
God, if that was the message of the movie, it's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I know. All right, let's get off of this.
Okay.
Red flag movies. Dumb.
A dumb thing.
Dumb thing.
Now, red flag people and red flag actions.
Not dumb.
Not dumb. You can look into those.
Yeah, definitely have a list of those things.
Yeah.
I saw a post where a girl was like, I was on a date with a guy, and the bartender or the barista or whatever they were, he wrote down on a piece of paper, too many red flags, run away.
I saw that, yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
That is something. I just imagine they're like talking about that's all they were doing was talking about the
movies.
Joker. And he got up, went to the bathroom, and he was like, too many red flags. He likes that movie way
the
too
Joker,
much.
modern classic.
You definitely need to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to honestly, I haven't watched a lot of those red flag movies in a while. Like Fight Club. The discourse on Fight Club happens like every year or so. People want to talk about that movie again and have a different perception of what you're supposed to take from it. It's a film about toxic masculinity. Actually, it's a film indicting toxic masculinity.
Right.
Actually, it's not about that at all. It's about capitalism and consumerism. Actually, it's not about that at all. It's just a dumb movie that you're supposed to just have fun and watch.
It can be everything, you know.
It can be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time I watched it, I was a kid, so I probably shouldn't have been watching it when I watched it. But I don't know. I was too dumb to get anything from it other than like the Fight Club part is awesome. Them blowing up the city and shit, that was cool. The twist blew my fucking mind. My feeble little brain.
Yeah. Your little
like,
baby
what?
brain.
I think it's probably one of the first movies that had like a twist ending that I was like, or not, it's not really the ending. It's like the third or fourth act, but whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like one of the first movies where I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, it wasn't real the whole time. Yeah, he's schizo. Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Stuff like
Along with Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense was the one. That was the one. It just like, it just breaks your brain. You're like,
wait a minute.
First of all, what's a twist ending? This is crazy. I didn't even know you could do this with movies. Are you kidding me?
Is this cheating?
Like,
this feels like cheating.
Everything I knew and loved is not true.
Yep.
It's hard to pull off, man.
I know. It's been done way worse.
That's why M. Night should have just
stopped.
Yeah. He should have just been like,
Unbreakable, and I'm out.
That's it. And just stop doing the twist endings. Just be like, I'm just going to do regular. What he should have done is stop writing his movies.
Yeah.
He should have just directed. He's a decent director. If you don't count Avatar.
Have you seen Old?
No. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, you went and saw that?
No. I want to watch it just based off the memes.
Yeah. I definitely need to see it.
Yeah.
But I think what's funny about how bad his movies are, or have been, not all of them, is that they are, to me, required viewing. I need to see them. I need to see them just so that I can be a part of like whatever crazy universe he's creating in his head.
They're usually at least fun.
I went and saw The Happening in theaters.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, that cast.
Yeah.
You got Mark Wahlberg, Zoe Deschanel when she was like hot.
Yeah.
I don't mean physically. She is hot physically. But I mean like her career. She was crushing it.
Yeah.
And then John Leguizamo, one of my favorite character actors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'll go see this. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. And at that point, I wasn't like, I didn't care about reviews. I was like, I'll just go and see it. It was a date. I just went and saw it.
Did it quickly devolve into watching like The Room?
It fell apart pretty quickly to where the whole thing was like, is this a joke? Is this are we supposed to be taking this seriously?
It's a comedy?
The scene where they outrun the wind, we
Yeah.
both looked at each other like, this is insane. I can't believe that this is a real movie.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
So when we got out, we were joking and like we were walking backwards because that was for some reason what the characters did before they killed themselves was walk backwards. The one guy like walks backwards and then he falls over and he lets the lawnmower eat his face, and I'm just like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a good
man.
one. Good one.
I think if that movie got made now, though, with all the climate stuff, because back then, climate stuff was still like, yeah.
Hippity dippity.
Yeah. Now you've got enough people on the other side who are like, okay, might be a problem. We might need to deal with some stuff.
The problem, my friend, was never with the topic. It was with the writing, the performances.
Right. Huh? What are you talking about, huh?
Just a constantly perplexed Mark Wahlberg.
The wind, huh? What are you talking? The wind? Nature, huh? Let's do this one and rotate. All right. You done?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's get into something else. I think we've dunked on bad movies and bad movie culture enough.
Okay.
What else do we got? I forgot what we were.
OnlyFans.
Oh man. Oh. Talk about a red flag. If your girl hasn't, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is a safe space for sex workers.
Yes, sir and ma'am. Do what you want to do.
Clink. Mm-hmm.
America, baby.
That was a wild ride.
The OnlyFans debacle.
Yeah. Can you imagine like being an OnlyFans content creator? Like what your fucking life must have been this past like week and a half?
We have heard online about many of them, and how much somebody said that it feels like OnlyFans is being run by their ex, based on how much like back and forth and tricks are being played on these people's livelihoods.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
And their emotions.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. So if you don't know, OnlyFans announced, I think it was last week, right? It's only been about a week.
Yeah. No, it's only been a week or so.
They announced that they would stop allowing pornographic material on their site, app, whatever you want to
Technically,
call it.
sexually explicit. So that's not necessarily pornographic.
Okay.
I mean, they said that they would continue, as far as I know, they said that they would continue nude pictures, but anything sexual in those pictures would be unallowed. So, like, if you're, I don't know, bent over, if you got a dildo or something like that, any kind of sexualization of the photo.
Like a sex act, but nudity is okay.
Nudity, as far as I know, nudity would have been okay.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, like, you can be just a nude model. That doesn't mean you have to be doing a sexual act in the photos.
Sure, you're just naked in the thing. Yeah.
So those were still going to be allowed.
Okay.
But anything sexual.
Sexually
evocative.
Explicit.
Explicit.
Yeah.
All the X words.
Right.
All the E words.
Just
sexually.
3X explicit.
yeah, 3X explicit.
Okay.
Yeah, that was going to be banned.
Right.
In October.
Right. So, a lot of people were speculating that was because their investors would not give them the guap, as the kids would say.
I mean, as far as I know, it wasn't speculation. That was the given reason.
I only say speculation because recently, I believe CEO of OnlyFans came out with a statement saying that it was never having to do with investors. It was that there was trouble with the banks who were canceling payments from sex workers. And that apparently that was a major issue on the platform, that some banks would not allow money to be exchanged if it had to do with sex workers.
Okay.
Or sex work.
Okay. Yeah, that's what from what I understood, it was Visa and MasterCard who were like, we don't want to deal with this. So change the content because we're not going to allow payments anymore because it has to deal with, it's basically legalizing prostitution, which I know it's not. But what I'm saying is like, that's the idea behind not allowing those payments to go through, because it's like, you're a sex worker, you're making these like custom videos for people who are paying for those things. It's minus the literal sex act on that person, you know.
I guess.
But it's like MasterCard and Visa don't crack down on like Pornhub, paid subscriptions on like Pornhub and stuff. So what's the difference?
I guess it would have to be with what you were just saying, the custom nature of it, the direct exchange of money for a specific,
because it is a sex act that you are paying someone to do, whether it's on you physically.
Right.
I guess in the eyes of the law, it's not prostitution.
Right.
But then what's the difference?
Semantics.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess physical contact would denote whether or not it is legally prostitution.
Yeah, and again, what's the difference? Like the physical contact, I guess, but in the eyes of the law, what does that have to do with the legality of it? As long as we're not actually fucking and we're just virtually fucking, we're pretending, that's okay. But if
I honestly don't understand the hang up that the government has with sex work in general.
Morality, it's just a fake morality play. That's all.
Again, if it's a consenting adult, who cares? Like,
buddy, come on. What are you talking about? Come on.
No, but I'm saying,
come on.
Why
it's America. What are you doing?
Why should you care?
Consenting adults. Buddy, come on.
Yeah. Christian conservatives.
Hey, come on, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously understand the people who do have an issue with it, but I don't like. What's the big deal? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
What's the deal?
What's the deal
with sex work being illegal?
What's the deal with sex work being illegal?
I know mine was a little bit Obama again.
Yours was Obama. What's the deal
with sex
work being illegal? Let's just run down all of our bad impressions.
Yeah. But I personally don't understand, especially in this scenario where, like, I guess you could say, okay, well, if there's actual physical contact, that can lead to, diseases and health issues. But
again, consenting adults.
Sure, and you would hope that these people have been tested. But that aside, now we're talking digitally, people giving money for a service that they're receiving digitally. There's not even physical contact involved.
Right.
Why would Visa and MasterCard care?
Morality. Again, it falls down to being a part of that thing.
Okay, but I can instead buy a gun with a Visa card and shoot somebody with it.
Absolutely.
And that's all right.
And that's your American right, brother.
God damn right.
Cheers.
Here.
That's my cheers of the week. Freedoms to buy guns and shoot people.
Only by Visa.
You're right.
I don't understand.
I mean, you could buy plenty of shit that just doesn't. I mean, you can use your Visa and MasterCard to buy a dildo to fuck another person. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was weird. It was weird when it happened. It was weird when the news came out. It was weird because that was OnlyFans base market almost from the jump.
Yeah.
I understand that like their mission statement probably wasn't we're going to be a safe space for sex workers, but it quickly became that.
Yeah.
And then you just pivot and you lean hard and you go, that's what this is. I mean, you can come on here and do cameos.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. But So from the jump, I mean,
Also, lean in and pivot is what I'd pay for.
the lean in and pivot videos.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it took them this long for them to be like, all right, that's enough. I've had it with all of these.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man.
I guess if we can trust the CEO, or again, I
And we can't.
may not be the CEO, but the leader
The
the leader of OnlyFans. The final boss of OnlyFans. It's
Yeah,
a
you
giant
jerk off
dildo.
to me.
I'm sorry if you're listening to only the audio, but anyway, if we are to trust this person in the leadership position, whether CEO or not,
Right.
Maybe it was the banks coming down on them. I can see that as being an issue, but I can almost guarantee it's not only that.
Yeah.
It probably does have a lot to do with not being able to get some gun-shy investors.
Yeah, and I think in the statement where they now flip-flopped on that, part of the statement was we have been able to secure assurances that will keep the company going and make sure the payments get processed and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, hey man, I got an idea. How about you be a little bit more transparent? Because what you did in the beginning and what you said was kind of devastating to thousands of people.
Yeah.
And you already have partially ruined a lot of people's livelihoods because they were so scared. They jumped off the platform as soon as they could. And other people lost hundreds of subscriptions because of the things that you said. And now you're going to turn around and be like, we have gained the assurances to make sure that this won't happen. We won't. What he said was we have suspended that change. So it's like, okay, man, hey, if we're reading into the wording of this, I'm still not I don't feel safe.
Yeah, why would you ever trust them again?
No.
You
I wouldn't.
wouldn't.
No.
You'd pack up shop and start up somewhere else.
It's oh man, it's so interesting because they had a cobra clutch on that industry.
Yeah.
No one. I think the next service was some other shit. I forgot what it was called. I saw somebody talking about it, and it was like a distant second.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you have opened up the market to just decimate your business model.
Yeah, and there are so few competitors that it's going to be a little while until something else really rebounds all these sex workers.
But if you can come on to the platform and advertise yourself as a safe space for sex workers,
because like the big name like Pornhubs of the world are not safe for sex workers.
No, they're not.
They're super exploitive and like just toxic,
Pretty
places
terrible places.
from
Yeah.
What little I understand. about
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh. Sure, buddy.
I read some things. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Read some things.
I've read some
Watched
things.
some things.
Learned some
Seen
things.
some things.
oh, yeah. Seen some things.
I've seen some things.
Uh-huh.
I've learned some things.
Yeah. So I mean, it sucks. It sucks that there are so few options for these people to make a living and do
What do you
so.
mean these people? Sorry.
To make a living and have a safe environment to do so and really profit for themselves and really be entrepreneurial in a way that those big name websites wouldn't allow them to be. So that sucks, and I think it's going to be hard. I think for a lot of these people to,
Wow.
a lot of individuals
Thank
to be able to trust another platform again. So I think the only way to get away from that is to diversify and to expand into other channels and really spread out as much as possible in order to keep yourself safe from if one thing goes down, I'm still going to be able to afford rent. You know?
Right. I mean, you got to hustle, baby. You want to have your hand in multiple industries or multiple multiple avenues of income.
I mean, industry is not wrong. A lot of I was gonna say these people again. A lot of sex workers.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. A lot of sex workers do have like YouTube channels and
That's good.
and stream and play
Twitch.
video games and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not just that, but that pays the bills, and then you gain a following, and they can follow you on to other venues and other things that don't necessarily have to do with sex work.
Yeah, I mean, the day that I saw people on women on OnlyFans, or I guess on Twitter, talking about how much money they were making on OnlyFans, I was like, I mean, I don't know, man. The idea of being a person who was like happy that OnlyFans was going down.
Oh, the worst people.
Yeah,
The absolute worst people.
It was interesting to me for a couple of reasons, and probably for reasons that people share. Number one is like, how much do you hate women?
Right.
And just trans people, sexual, a person who is sexually free. How much do you hate people who are sexual?
Sexuality in general.
How much do you hate sexuality?
Maybe it's a statement about yourself. Maybe
Big time.
You hate yourself and you don't feel sexy, and therefore nobody else can.
Yeah. That was number one. I was amazed at how hateful some of the stuff was. Was just like, man, you really, really don't like women. You really don't like women in control of their sexuality.
Empowering themselves and doing what they want with their own bodies and, making money off of it.
And then number two was like, dog, who do you think is paying these people?
Right.
Who do you think is paying these people, my friend?
Inside scoop. They're only doing it because people are paying for it.
Exactly. And not just that they're paying for it. I mean, they're paying
Millions of dollars.
millions of dollars. These women were making entire
Raking it in.
careers off of this shit.
Yeah.
And not just women. I say that, but I don't mean to be general and broad strokes with it. But, it's amazing. It's like, okay, first of all, you hate sex workers. And what I didn't understand, well, I guess I do understand on one level. It's just like your ire should be directed, if any ire at all, you shouldn't have any anger. You shouldn't feel any, because here's the thing. You shouldn't have an opinion on it at all.
Sure. If you're that against it, simply don't watch it.
Yeah.
Simply don't pay that person for that product.
You don't even have to, like, my thing is, like, I am, like, I'm all for women, sex workers doing whatever they want. If there is a consenting adult willing to pay for that shit, I don't care. If I took a picture of my foot, both of my toesies, my toesies.
You only have two down there?
I only have the two.
Okay.
I have the two that create balance.
Your 2 feet are just two big toes.
Just big toes.
Giant toes.
If I posted that picture online and somebody was willing to pay for it, who are you as the third party to come in and be like, no, that's disgusting.
Your visa.
You don't get to do, right.
Apparently.
That's it. So that's wild. And then again, if you have any anger, which you shouldn't, that anger should be directed at the thousands of people who are spending their livelihood on these sex workers, pictures, videos, things like that. Their content.
Yeah.
Again, you shouldn't be angry at all. It shouldn't matter to you at all. But if you're going to be angry at anybody, why aren't you angry at the guys who are going broke making these sex workers rich? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the thing that was so confusing to me. Well, not confusing, because I understand that there's a lot of men who just hate women, period.
Sure. Or hide behind faith and say that, oh, well, this isn't becoming of our culture to have these women doing this. Or people in general. Again, not just women.
Of course. Yeah. What was really funny is seeing, like, Twitch streamers talk about, now you got to get a real job. It's like, bro, you stream GTA.
I saw that.
Where you pay a virtual prostitute to fuck you, and then once you get out of the car, you can murder said prostitute and take your money back. How is that better? Who do you think you are, buddy?
FaZe Clan, bro.
I don't know. It's so now they've reversed course, And all of the people,
reverse.
all the people who lost their fucking minds over this. First of all, the streamers, the fuckboys, the just the shitty humans who were so happy about this. Now what do you say?
Right.
My
day's ruined.
Yikes, buddy. Yikes.
Yeah.
Guess you're gonna have to restart your OnlyFans subscription.
Probably.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And then for the sex workers, it's like you said before, it's how do you trust this company? How going forward? Like, what are you supposed to? I mean, I'm happy that they reversed course, but they only reversed course because you have to imagine that they looked at the numbers and they were like, if we lose this many people,
we're done.
We might as well just close up shop.
Yep.
Because it won't even matter if the investors are in, because there's nothing to invest.
There's no product. There's no product. It would be Tumblr again.
I read something, and it was like they had more money coming in than they knew what to do with. And that was part of the reason why they needed to secure all of these investors and all of these people who can manage the money, because they've got millions of dollars coming in.
It's been real lonely times lately.
I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't be caught dead paying for no porn at all. I'd rather just stop watching it.
That's a very good point. We've talked about this, though, is like, what is the appeal of an OnlyFans? And I think it has a lot to do with what we were talking about, which is the one-on-one nature of it.
Yeah,
the customness, the customability of it.
The personalized nature of it.
Right. And I think that's the selling point for a lot of people, I would assume.
Yeah. Because it is like, if you go on there and you're like, this is something, I can get something from this person that nobody else can get, and they're sending it to me.
Yeah. And, it's in a weird way, I guess not really in a weird way, but in a way a lot of people don't think about, it's a more ethical way to watch porn.
Oh, yeah,
1,000%. It's going directly into that person's pocket as
1,000%.
opposed to essentially just putting off a ticker on a streaming service, essentially, to say you watched it again.
Yeah.
That goes where? Who knows?
Right. And you're driving traffic to a website of a company that has no face, and you're just like, whatever. As opposed to, if you're driving traffic to this person's OnlyFans, like you said, it's going right directly into that person's pocket. Well, I think OnlyFans takes like 20% or something. Oh, that was another thing. A girl had brought up, she was like, now that you've destroyed some people's livelihood with this like hasty announcement and then retraction, like, what are you going to give to us? Like, what are you going to do for us? Because I've lost like 300 subscribers, but I still have to pay you X amount of dollars every month.
That there should be like a pause on that fee.
Yeah, something.
That makes sense. I mean, they deserve something after the company themselves shot everyone in the foot. Not only themselves, shot everyone on the platform in the foot. Show that you deserve us. Give us something.
Yeah.
In order to stay there. Because if not, I mean, like I said, there's not a lot of alternatives from what I understand that is, as big as OnlyFans, but give it a little bit of time. There will be. Yeah. And they'll jump ship immediately.
I hope so. I hope something comes soon. I hope that there's a couple of apps that pop up. Because first of all, I mean, that's what capitalism is all about, right,
sure.
baby? I mean, driving the market.
Yep.
So, and then competition. The competition, the one that comes straight way.
Okay. Is that okay?
I mean, Fife did it, and
it's true.
he doesn't speak with an accent. And also, I'm Guyanese, so I can dip into that.
All right.
I think I'm allowed. If it's problematic,
we'll allow it.
Let me know. But I don't think it's problematic. The competition, the one that comes sideways.
We'll call it a vague Caribbean accent.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I could get away with a vague Caribbean accent.
Yeah. You're vaguely Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yes, I hope there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
I hope that OnlyFans learns some kind of lesson here. I hope they lose a lot of people. I mean, their reputation is shot right now. And I hope that they do do something for the people who stuck with them, the sex workers who need this for their livelihood. This is a hard-learned lesson.
Yeah.
And I hope that the content creators are the ones who win in this, because, fuck any CEO of any company, honestly. And especially a company that would pull this on what is probably 85 to 90% of their, or not consumer, but user base.
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, just to wake up one morning and be like, by the way, guys, it's over. So you better pack your shit. You got a month to figure it the fuck out.
And to do that with essentially thousands of what equate to be mom and pop shops, these aren't big companies that they're doing it to. It's people.
Yeah. It's individuals. You
regular,
gotta look them right in their face.
Ordinary people.
Sorry. Shit's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we'll see, though. We'll see. Good luck. If you are a sex worker or any other performer on OnlyFans, good luck to you.
Yeah.
We wish you well.
Any other performer. I hope that there's jugglers.
There's there's got to be one mime on there.
There's a guy who just does 3-card Molly.
Do the box.
He just. Well, that'll be $25.
Yeah. 5. We'll give you 5.
What's the difference between OnlyFans and Patreon? I know this is going to sound real cop-outy, but I have actually never been on OnlyFans. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't even know what the UI looks like.
Oh, I mean, me neither. And I promise I'm not saying that just to save
Go to
face.
it right now. Let's find out. This is going to be in your search, not mine.
All right.
Sorry, Sherry.
OnlyFans.com. Oh, look at that. Popped up. Okay, so it's an app. You have to sign up for
you
it.
Immediately have to just sign in.
Yeah.
So sign up. Okay. Yeah. I don't like that. You should be able to explore a little bit.
Well, they have previews of kind of what the layout looks like. So it looks like it's.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know.
Jack Silver.
Maybe he's like a photographer or something. I don't know.
I like that the previews are super mundane stuff. Like, here's my workout video, and that's another workout video where she's not really wearing anything though. That's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a social media app, basically. So I don't think you get that with a Patreon. Like, the Patreon is just a web page, essentially, that you can give content. So maybe
sign in.
I'm not gonna
sign in on the sign up with the
the one beer in.
yeah, use the one beer.
We'll put it in the one beer in fund.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not saying pay any money. I'm saying just sign up so we can see what we're looking at.
All right, fine. Do it with the podcast's Gmail account. Let's see what the UI looks like.
People are going to hear this and be like, Marco's just horny.
Come on. Let's log in.
I want to see it. Oh, my God. Let's show me. Okay, so here's the thing. What we're looking at right now.
Makeup tutorial.
The front page, if you don't have any, if you're not subscribed to anything, the front page is just makeup.
It's Twitter.
Yeah. It just looks like a social media platform.
Is this not legitimately Twitter?
It looks just like Twitter.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just.
And what we're looking at right now is a sneaker preview, some women cooking,
surfer girl.
This girl is probably
shuffling.
Dancing. Yeah, shuffling. So I mean, I guess the sexually explicit stuff isn't even on the front page. You have to know who you're subscribed to. That was Mia Khalifa, I think.
But yeah, I mean, obviously you're not going to get anything unless you pay, because that's the entire model.
Right, but I wonder. I was wondering, and now I guess that kind of puts it to rest, how upfront they are about that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Because again, I had no idea that the layout of it was just like a social media platform, and you have to have subscriptions, you create a profile, you bookmark, you have messages and all that stuff. It looks like Twitter.
Just like Twitter.
Which is actually super interesting to me, because that's not how I thought it was going to be. I thought you'd go on there and there'd be a lineup of different people to subscribe to. Mm-hmm. Sort of like a Twitch, where you go on there, you get a little preview of what they're doing,
what
and
are you
can
interested
sub
in?
to them. Yeah. But instead, it looks like a social media platform where like you have to know who you're following. And I guess you can go through people's mutuals and stuff and find other people to follow and stuff and get their content. But like you said, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Sorry about that. Burped right into the mic. You're welcome.
It's retro.
Yeah. See, that wasn't so bad, was it?
Still
See?
still sweating.
Did it make you feel a little uncomfortable?
uncomfortable.
Your delicate sensibilities.
It's all right. It's okay. It's the Catholic again.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, you had nothing to do with it. I forced your hand.
Forced my hand, yeah.
And it was on the one beer in account.
It's true.
It's fine.
There's no paper trail.
If anything comes from it, it was my fault.
Phrasing.
I mean, we're on there now, so I might just dance around and just take a look, see what we're missing.
I'm blocking it from your browser.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we have another very big story. It actually involves you, my friend.
Me.
Yeah. Because this is our last episode before you go to Bonnaroo. I am not going to Bonnaroo. Can't make it this year. But my good friend, Marco Dupa, is going to make it. So if you see him, say hi.
That's right. Yeah, anybody who was on the Bonnaroo episode,
Yes.
Holla at your boy. I'll be out there.
So, how are you feeling? Are you getting excited?
I am.
Yeah.
I am excited about it. I've been kind of not really thinking about it too much because it was so far away, and now I realize it's like next week.
It snuck up on me too.
Yeah.
Like I saw, I think a social media post. I was like, wait a minute, next week?
Yeah. I was very, very taken aback. I would like to say, first and foremost, shout out to the people that I'm going with. Lottie, Rob, Spencer, me, Lottie, Rob, Spencer, Katie, and then whoever else is going to join us out there, because in our group chat, they've been pretty much taking care of everything. And I'm just told, like,
classic hey. Marco Dupa. Sitting back, waiting for everyone else to get all the stuff together.
Here's the thing, man. A little about me, if I may.
Whose nights are you gonna ruin snoring?
Oh, I mean, I have my own tent,
wow,
so
okay.
Nobody's gonna have to worry about that.
Is it soundproof?
Hey, honestly, I would like to say this for the record. I've been told recently that I don't snore as loud as I used to, and I think that has a lot to do
lying.
with the. Don't say that.
Yeah,
she's not a liar.
It's early.
Yeah.
Give it a minute.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're right. Anyway, they've been taking care of a lot of pretty much everything, and I'm just told what money I need to allocate to what thing, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I've learned this about myself, that I can't. I'm not a planner. I am a doer. I love to do things. I love to have fun. I love to be a part of things, but I am not a planner.
Yeah.
I can't.
I
don't have the. Yeah. I just don't have the brain for it.
Yeah.
I don't like to be in charge of things. When I am put in a leadership role, I feel like I can do it because I'm comfortable just doing those types of doing what's asked of me. But if I never had to lead anything ever again, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to relinquish any and all leadership roles and responsibilities because I
tell
hate
me how much
having
to
them.
pay and I will show up.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that. So shout out to my Rue crew. They're good. They're good people.
It's good.
They're good people. So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Because now it's like it's very real. First of all, I mean, I'm gonna have so many days off. I'm gonna be poor when I come back. It's not good.
Yeah.
And
you don't really get sick days, right? Or days off. No, not one of those kind of jobs.
Shout out to Red Light, baby.
Part of the biz, baby. Part of the biz.
You know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we are. By the way, I mean we could talk about this on a later episode, but there's a growing movement to have people in industries such as this have healthcare, and the craft brewery. I can't remember if it's the Craft Brewer Society or Craft Brewers Association or something like that. They did a thing a couple months ago where they asked all of us, like, how would you be interested in healthcare if we were to provide it to you guys? And so
Brewers Association.
the Brewers Association. And we all signed up for it. We all said that, like, yo, if you're going to offer that, we would definitely pay for that shit.
Yeah.
And so we're counting the days before they come back with a decision on if they're going to. So just, for the record, because people are always talking about, like, service industries and, like, the things that you have to put up with when it comes to service industries. And that is part of the course. Like that politician that went viral for, like, outing that girl. I don't know if you saw this, but, like, I can't remember. He was, I think, Georgia, where he goes to some restaurant and he's like, shout out to this waitress. She was sick, but she showed up to work.
No.
That's American ingenuity and that's hard work and blah, blah, blah. She should be proud of herself. And then immediately, like, the fucking social media crackdown on this girl. It was, and the company, they were like, you let her work while she was sick, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's a whole thing. We're not going to get into that.
Yikes.
But look it up. It was a disaster. Anyway, the Brewers Association, Brewers Society, Brewers Association, Brewers Club,
Brewers Association.
the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yes.
Brewers Association.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about that because that's a giant step forward for
The industry.
Yeah. So anyway, I digress.
Especially important during a panini.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
And I mean that kind of, that's reassuring to know that they're at least thinking about or trying to do things like that for people. So, I'm excited. The set list looks fun. We're planning out how we're going to hit it.
Always important, yeah. Because they put out the schedule a couple weeks ago. So
some things are just going to get missed. And
it happens.
It is
it
what
just
it
happens.
is.
Yeah, they're always casualties. I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there anyone in particular you were especially looking forward to seeing now that we're a little bit closer to the event?
Yeah, I've already seen Run the Jewels. I'm definitely still. I'm a huge fan. We're both huge fans. So, seeing them is still going to be because I want to see them do RJ. The third album and the fourth album.
3 and 4.
I want to see that material live.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And also, I really, really want to see Orville Peck.
Yeah.
I like Orville Peck a lot. His whole persona is fun. Everything. I just like the guy a lot, man. I like the idea of, like, this mysterious queer cowboy just, going
like
out
the
there
cut of
and
his
just-
jib.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see his show. I want to give you a top 3. Oh, Mark Ribier is going to be there, and I cannot wait for that shit.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
Mark Ribier is going to be. That's going to be fun. So that's probably my top 3 right there. Yeah. There's some
Respectable.
huge names. Like the Foo Fighters is a big.
Of course, yeah.
Lizzo's going to be there.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yep.
So there's some,
I'm sure you'll see. It's just, it's one of those event things that maybe you're not personally excited for, but will be fun to be a part of.
Yeah. I mean, the Foo Fighters. I've said it before. I think we had this talk a long time ago. I think off mic, but I think the Foo Fighters are probably like I think they're the best generic radio rock band of all time.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think that there's anyone better.
Just the alt rock station band.
Just big singles, decent albums, longevity in their career, nothing too offensive, nothing too extraordinary or experimental.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting from them every time they put an album out. I think they are the best because the rest of them, think about this. They all have had moments where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and they've all kind of done this ebb and flow, right? The Foo Fighters for like 2 decades.
Steady.
Just every time they come out with something, you're just like, what have I seen? I'm like the others. I don't even know what that song's about. And I'm like, that song's awesome.
Also, that song was like 15 years ago.
I know. And you know what? I say all this, and they put out a fucking disco album. I just
That's
remembered.
right, yeah.
They put out like a Bee Gees tribute album.
Yep.
So, okay. I mean, they experimented a
But
little
that
bit.
was like clearly an EP, not like a real album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, for the most part, they have the biggest singles. They always usually work.
Yeah. Truck commercial music.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think they're the best at it. I don't think there's anyone as good at making generic rock and roll as the Foo Fighters.
I will ask, will you go back to our video to see what people were commenting and try to catch any of those like OG acts, any of the jam bands? Are you going to extend yourself in any way on this Rue venture?
No.
Okay. Well,
If I could say that respectfully, no.
I would if I was going.
No,
is all I'm going to say.
with a heart. No.
No.
I'm not going to do that. I appreciate everybody who commented. I love the interaction. It made my heart warm. I was so happy that people were like latched onto that and were into it. But I got to be honest. There's no way I'm wasting any. Oh, shit. I got to plug this in. It's been plugged in the whole time. There's no way I'm allocating any time or effort to any of like the electro groups or any of like the DJs or any of that. I'm just not doing it. I'm sorry. It's not my kind of music. It never has been. I've
That's the perfect reason to see them live.
I know. And as I've grown older, I've definitely gained an appreciation for that stuff. I definitely have.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I will go back and look at the comments and see who people told us we forgot about and we spaced on.
Yeah.
I will look at the schedule, and if it's not interrupting Mark Ribier or any of these other acts that I really want to see, if I can just dip off and go, I will do it.
Okay.
And I will report back, and I will name you specifically, whoever made the comment, and be like, you were right or you were wrong, and I shouldn't have fucking wasted my time.
Well,
So-
you know, the good thing is a lot of the lesser known and a lot of the niche acts are on Thursday.
Yeah.
So once you guys set up, I recommend you go out and just explore.
Yeah.
Find some people, you know?
Yeah, good call.
Find some groups.
Find some groups.
Yeah.
Some groups, find some groups, and find some grooves.
So I'm glad you're excited, but are you feeling properly protected based on the recent announcement that they're now requiring a vaccine card or test within 2 weeks, negative test within 2 weeks of brew?
I'll say this, because a couple of my friends have been giving me shit about, oh, you talked all this shit about the Panini, and now you're going to a super spreader event.
Oh, we had somebody talking shit on our own.
Oh yeah, we did.
Video.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And to that, I just would say, I mean, I think right now with the way that the rest of America and the way that, you know, everybody else is handling the panorama, you kind of, I think right now it sucks, but you have to just relegate yourself to, I have to take a risk if I want to do anything.
Sure.
Because that's just what you're going to be around.
Especially in Florida.
Especially in Florida. Now, I'll say this. Everyone thought that Lollapalooza was going to be the super spreader event where like thousands of people were just going to drop dead. And maybe 100 people got COVID from it.
Yeah.
So there's that. When it comes to Bonnaroo, I mean, the attitudes of, I mean, let's just call a spade. Most of the people who are going are super liberal, hippie people. So the majority of those people are going to adhere to those rules.
Sure.
Now, that's not accounting for every single person who's going to be there.
Well,
and I understand that.
If they don't, they can't go in, though, is the thing.
Right. That's true. And I wonder, but my thing is, I wonder how stringent they're going to be with stuff like that.
Well, and the testing isn't 100% either. So, of course, you're going to have, guaranteed, there's going to be somebody there with COVID.
Yeah, and if you get a test within 72 hours or even, a week or so, and then the next day, you could get tested for COVID, test negative, and then a person who's COVID positive cough in your face as you're walking out of the doctor.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's not perfect science. Yeah. So
but it helps, right? It helps.
Yeah.
Anything helps.
The thing is, seeing a company or seeing an organization or an event take any precautions is better than nothing.
Sure.
So when you see them actually doing these things, I just hope that they're going to be pretty stringent about it and pretty fucking. I hope they're going to be like, if you don't have a vaccine card or a negative test, you don't get to come in. Sorry, turn your car around and drive back to whatever bumfuck hole you drove out of. You don't get to come in. I hope that that's the case. As I've seen with my own eyes, it's sometimes they're a little lenient with stuff.
Sure.
So I can only imagine people just kind of flashing their card like a passport, just flipping it back, and then they're like, all right, gone.
Good enough.
So, but yes, it does make me feel better that they are trying, at least.
Yeah.
Nothing's perfect. A perfect world would be everybody just get the vaccine. That would be perfect.
Sure. Anyone who can.
But we don't live in a perfect world.
No, we live in Florida. Again.
Yeah.
Far from perfect world.
Hey, you see that? Florida Man Wrestling Club.
Yeah. So.
Woo.
Dangerous times down here. But, I'm really happy for you. I hope you take a lot of pictures. Have a good time.
Yeah. What do you think of? Should I bring my camera, or do you think it's a bad idea?
No. I think you should bring it. Just keep it safe.
I mean, it's that.
I know.
It's that camera. So
I know. Keep it safe. You can be responsible. You can.
So I got a couple of days. I got to get a camera bag. I don't have a camera bag.
You need a bag.
I just shove it into my backpack.
No, you need a bag. You need a bag, especially because it's gonna be hot, like it always is, and you don't want that baking, like on your car dash or something,
Yeah.
Why not? Take it.
I'd like to get a telephoto lens before I go. I wonder how much they are. I wonder how much Sony telephoto lenses are. Anyway, it's another conversation. So all in all, I'm excited. I can't wait. I will try to take as many photos as I can, report back with everything that I can remember for it. Have a nice...
Bring some stories back if you can.
Stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's exciting stuff.
Well, I'll be here with my thumb
and
my ass.
Hey, man. Don't open that door.
All right. I'm happy you're going to have a good time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to go with the last thing or just get out of here? We're at an hour and a half.
I didn't know there was a last thing.
The vaccines. Spoiler alert.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into that a little bit. Okay, so we briefly touched on Bonnaroo with essentially what is a vaccine passport, which has become big news recently.
The topic of conversation.
And though we're here for a good time, obviously, real life stuff gets added from time to time.
Yep.
When we're not complaining about the Joker. So I'm curious because we haven't really checked in with the whole Panini situation.
No, we haven't
in a long time. So I was curious where you were with the state of things as far as vaccination passports. Needing to show test results before an event like Bonnaroo, things like that. And how safe do you feel in general? Like you masking up still? What are you doing? You washing your hands? I hope you're washing your hands.
I'm washing my hands.
Okay.
That's one of the things where it's like, yo, I mean, we talked about it, but it's like, damn, I can't believe how much people weren't washing their hands before. I'm washing my hands constantly.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, I used to just... It's not like I didn't wash my hands. I wash my hands a lot, but I wash them now. It's like I don't even... If I touch anything, if I open a door for somebody, I'm hitting at least the sanitizer.
Yeah.
And then after or before every meal, it's like, again, I will lose track. I'm like, did I touch something? If I can't remember not touching anything before the last time I washed my hands, I'm like, let me just sanitize.
Wash it. Yeah.
Might as well.
Why not?
What is this? It's 20 seconds.
Why not?
Yeah. As far as the vaccine passports, the Vaxports, my line of thinking on it is this. Right now, we're kind of at a place where, unfortunately, this is as good as it's going to get. I think what's happened is we've kind of bottomed out, or rather, plateaued.
Yeah, the opposite way.
Yeah, at what we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who can get one has very, very easy access to one, and we're at a point where people are choosing not to. And I think that if you want to live your life that way, that's your choice. I think that the difference comes in whenever you want to do something that affects other people. So Bonnaroo, for instance, is a good example. You don't get to complain about the precautions that they're taking for the rest of us because you chose to live a certain way.
Sure.
I understand that people want their freedom to believe whatever insane batshit thing that they want to believe. That's fine, and I'm okay with that. But when your beliefs affect my livelihood, then we have a problem. Mm-hmm. There is a valley here that you need to cross, that we both need to cross. I'm crossing it by saying you can believe whatever you want. You need to cross it by putting on a mask or getting a COVID test. If you refuse all of those things, now you are crossing over into my side of the valley. We're not meeting in the middle anymore. You're infringing. You're encroaching on my side. And then I have to do something about it. So we're at a point now where it's useless to argue with people. It's useless to debate. It's useless to post numbers. All of it, they will refute.
Sure.
With something.
Yeah.
So that's
one doctor says.
Yeah. So we're done with that.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. I'm done having this conversation with people personally. If you don't believe in the vaccines, if you think Fauci's a fucking shill for the government, blah, 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 I'm done having this conversation with people. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't have the energy. I don't have the desire. But as it stands, if we're both going to be at a public event for a couple of hours, shoulder to shoulder,
Or 4 days.
You need to take necessary precautions. You just have to. I did.
Yeah.
I did for you, even though you don't believe that I did for you. Because I already had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this for every other person that I'm interacting with. I didn't want my family to get sick. I didn't want my friends that I was around to get sick. And believe it or not,
Thank you.
I didn't want the fucking people, like the strangers around. I didn't want to be a fucking hotspot of COVID pushing it out to people. So I took a step. I'm not asking you to take the same step, but I am asking you to step a little.
Yeah, do something.
And if you can't do that, then you don't get to come.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable.
I think so.
So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I just think that I'll add that I don't understand the people who are unwilling to do anything. Like, if you don't want to get the vaccine, like you said, fine, but wear a mask if we're going to be inside somewhere together.
Are we missing one?
No, I took mine.
You have 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that last one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
I don't understand the people who are like, for instance, the big story for the past 2 weeks on the news has been about mandatory masks in schools.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kids aren't super endangered by COVID because, we've seen by the numbers, not as many of them are dying from it, but some have.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more getting sick now that school's back and that there's no mask mandates, so that parents who automatically don't believe in the vaccine or in wearing masks are bringing their kids who are unvaccinated and not wearing masks to school and then getting other kids sick.
Yeah.
Because kids can't get the vaccine yet. And I just don't understand the pushback against asking people to do the right thing by masking up, even if it's a slight inconvenience to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop being selfish for a second. That's all it takes. Nobody's trying to infringe on your freedoms. I understand it sucks. It's inconvenient. But if it saves one person's life, don't you think it might be worth it? And I would say, let's leave it to the individuals to step up to the plate and do the right thing. Let's not mandate it. Let's leave it to the good people of Florida to say, I want to be selfless and I want to choose to ask my child to wear a mask. And I want to wear a mask because I know I'm not vaccinated because of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But we've done that. And they don't do that. So what are we supposed to do? And again, like, I understand people aren't dying, like it's the Black Death. But again, it's not just about death. It's about the lingering result of having COVID that a lot of people are showing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, having trouble breathing, people losing their taste long term, and other conditions that we just don't know about yet. Because COVID's new, especially the variants. Brand new.
That new.
So why not be safe if it's not more invasive than putting a piece of fabric or cloth on your face for a few hours while you're outside? What's the problem? What is the problem?
What's the problem?
And the only thing I can think of is that this has become such a politicized thing that it's now a team sport of, you're wearing a mask, you're not on my team.
Yeah.
Or you're wearing a mask, so you're one of those bozos.
Mm.
Shouldn't be that. Shouldn't be that. And I've seen even DeSantis saying, show me proof that masks work. There's proof. There's evidence. There's evidence out there. Look it up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're just going to disprove it by saying, oh, well, the CDC said that. You can't trust those bozos. It's like, okay, well, who do you trust then? Tell me who you're supposed to trust other than my pillow guy or somebody suggesting that you take medication for sheep. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm personally over it. You have your freedoms to do whatever you want to do. Just don't get me sick.
Yeah.
That being said, I was able to get my booster shot already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm feeling a little bit better about that entire situation because of that.
Hell yeah.
So
I just read something about the J&J booster. Because everybody, I get it. I got the J&J.
yeah,
Here's time for you to make your jokes.
you're in steerage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
They are working on one. They've already tested it.
They're woodworking somewhere.
No, they're literally like using a hammer and chisel
Yeah.
and nailing it into somebody.
Yep.
They've already tested it on thousands of people.
Rats. Only 10 died.
And they it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we're looking good there.
Pfizer gang.
We're looking good on the J&J
Mm-hmm.
booster.
Good.
So.
Good.
All right. We would be remiss if we didn't change the subject a little bit and try to end us on a positive note.
Yeah. As we always do here.
So, Adam, take it away, my friend.
My cheers of the week is for Ron Isley and Ernie Isley.
Okay.
In particular.
Right
Cheers.
on.
I don't know if you saw this, but the Isley Brothers had a Tiny Desk concert last week.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
It was so good. And just looking, like, it caused me to do a deep dive, obviously. And
As one does.
Right. And just noting the longevity of the Isley Brothers and seeing just how they evolved with the times.
Yeah.
And kind of spearheaded certain sounds and really just were along the road, I mean, up until recently within modern music.
Yeah.
It's staggering that people don't talk about them even more than they do, because it's crazy. It's just insane, like the amount of hit songs that that you don't realize are Isley Brothers songs.
Yeah.
And again, like starting off like in like the doo-wop age, basically, and then moving into like hip hop at the end of it, like, and still doing it.
Yeah.
And still doing it, still performing. And like, I just fanboyed out on that entire video. And Ernie Isley's incredible on guitar.
Yeah.
I want to say.
He does not get the respect. You talking about underrated?
Yeah.
He does not get the respect he deserves.
Yeah. So check out the Tiny Desk concert for the Isley Brothers and have your mind blown.
Listen to Summer Breeze. You tell me you don't like that motherfucker can't play guitar?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Incredible.
buddy.
Incredible.
Ron Isley pops up on the Little Brother album, The Minstrel Show. And I didn't believe that it was actually him. I was like, this has to be an impersonator, because I understand Ron Isley working with R. Kelly. He's a huge artist. I get that. But at this point, Little Brother was like a super underground. Like, this was their big break, the second album. It made it on BET, and it was like, it was huge. So before the album had come out, it's like, oh, my God. How do you get Ron Isley on this? And to make a joke record.
Yeah. Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
To your point, the Isley Brothers, man.
And sampled to death.
Oh, yeah.
Classics.
Yeah.
Classics.
That's a good one. My cheers of the week goes to sex workers. Cheers.
Cheers.
When we were talking about, when we were pre-planning to talk about OnlyFans, it made me think that the needle got moved by sex workers, not by politicians, not by Twitch streamers, not by guys who play video games, not by the people that work out for a living and post their content on OnlyFans. The needle moved because of sex workers.
Yeah.
Because OnlyFans as a company had to learn the hard way that they're the people that run their fucking company. You think that you're the person that runs your company. And it's always funny when the people at the top look down and go, you wouldn't have this if it wasn't for me. And it's like, no, buddy. You, unfortunately, have what you have because of us.
They forget what a triangle looks like.
Yeah.
And don't realize the base is far larger than the top.
Exactly. That's some shit for your third eye, baby. If people understood how large the base of a triangle really was, might have a different shape altogether. You know what I mean? So shout out to them, because they're the reason that all of this, that they were able to move a company in a different, like to force them to go in a different direction than they had to look at themselves. They had to look in the mirror and go, well, who are we as a company? Who do we serve? And if we lose these people, what will we be going forward?
Yeah. It pushed a cargo ship back on the right direction.
Yeah. And for all the shit that they take online for just posting a picture of their tits and then some guy paying for them, like that's a crime, I say cheers to you guys.
You got some chutzpah.
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 All right. Let's review these beers because I got to piss.
Okay. All right. We'll keep this one short. This is the Cigar City Brewing Frost-Proof Belgian-Style White. What do I think about it? I think it tastes like a slightly better Blue Moon.
Oh, yeah, that's a good. That's a good description.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good. Would I go out of my way to get it again? I mean, it'd have to be a time and place thing for me. I think it would be good, like by the pool, grilling up some stuff.
Yeah.
Or tailgating might be a fun addition to your tailgate, along with the light beers to have a little flavor in there injected. But I'm not going to go out of my way for it. It's good, not great. I'm going to give it a. It's getting a 4. It's getting a 4 for me.
Yeah, I don't. I hate to disparage the name of Cigar City, but this one just didn't really do it for me. I mean, if you're watching the whole thing, we did go through the entire 6-pack, but that's mostly because of lack of options. We're just sitting here drinking these and enjoying them.
Yeah.
No, they
got it.
They taste fine. Mm-hmm. They taste fine.
A little bit of orange in there, right?
A little citrus notes.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet on that back end. A little sweet. I am. I mean, we highly rate Cigar City on this podcast, and this just didn't do it for me. It just I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
It was good, but it was. I expect better from Cigar City. I'll be honest with you. I expect better.
Yeah.
They've done better, and I know that they'll do better. This one didn't do it for me.
A hair too malty for my big recommendation. Yeah.
All right, 3.5 for myself and a 4 for this guy right here. You think we got it?
I don't know. We got it.
All right. Well, if he says we got it, then it's over. This has been the One Beer In podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa. For Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Go pee-pee, buddy.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have a beautiful evening. All right, girl.
We love you.
Love.